news leader.
Hi friends, and welcome on a beautiful Wednesday in Northeast Kansas. We're delighted around here that Congressman Steve Watkins is making his first report for us from Capitol Hill, but that we're on spring break after our show today. Only the 3 shows this week. We're back again on Monday after our session today. So you know what that means? That means I lose 8 possible things to talk about. So let's get right to it with Congressman Steve Watkins. Steve, we saw you first of all as an Iditarod dog sled racer to talk about that. You got elected to Congress since the time we last chatted, and welcome to the Red Couch Show for the first time.
Ralph, thank you so much for having me back. It's good to be here.
Good. Let's start with the Farm Bill. What can you report to our friends in Northeast Kansas? What's in the Farm Bill that particularly would affect us or help our agricultural situation?
Well, the Farm Bill is designed for the agriculture community, so think small town America. I'm very proud of it, but I can't take any credit. It happened before I arrived. It gave farmers the crop insurance they need to produce with some business predictability. It also touches on rural broadband, which is important to these communities, and also infrastructure. So this is an incredibly important bill, and what's next is just the implementation. So what I'm focused on in Congress is making sure that it's implemented smartly, that it keeps moving forward, and that and there are touch points between me and other areas. What's next for rural America is USMCA. Now that's NAFTA 2.0. And what that is trade, good, free, and fair trade
that's
between
the Mexico, Canada, north and south of our borders, and that trade.
Exactly.
You're a wall guy, Steve. You said I'm
Yes,
a
sir.
wall guy. I support building the wall. Why do you support that? And do you think? Let me pose the question also to you. If we have a wall at the border with Mexico, we're still going to have the trade, but if President Trump is concerned about drugs getting into the country, the exporters would go around the wall, and a lot of the drugs come in through ports of entry on the ocean and the Gulf. Will the wall really stop the drug problem, drugs flowing into this country?
Now, Ralph, as you know, I was in the Army. In the Army, I was a combat engineer. Our job was to design, oversee the construction and guarding of barriers. Now, these barriers are just common sense. Now, oftentimes what a barrier will do is channel the traffic into a predictable pattern. And so it's all part of a master plan to help keep our borders safe. I'm proud of our president. He's holding true to that, and I support him.
All right. You mentioned there's something included in a recent bill regarding Fort Scott. What is Fort Scott getting, and some historical designation?
Well, I'm very proud. Now, what
That's
happened is
awesome.
they have a Civil War era blockhouse down there. It goes by the name Lynette, Blair, and what happened is the locals wanted a way to preserve that, and it took an act of Congress to expand a border as such to where it was preserved. So I was lucky enough to get that across the finish line. It had been others had worked on it for a long time, but it was in a recent lands package that the president signed. I was in the Oval Office when he signed that. I was very proud of my participation in that bill.
What's the experience been like for you so far? I mean, a lot of us imagine, and it's funny, Steve, I got to mention, you said, it would take an act of Congress to do this, and it actually did do that. The experience of actually being there.
It's such an honor to be there. I mean, I'm a Republican, so we're in the minority, and so I have to get this in. Listen, I encourage everyone to come to my office, to call in if they feel like we can help them out in any way. I want to provide world-class constituent services to everyone, Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, liberals, and so I just need to make sure that your viewers know that I'm there for them, I work for them, and I'm proud of the constituent successes that we've had. We might not have very many legislative victories as Republicans, but I'm a problem solver. That's what I ran on, and that's what I'm doing there on Capitol Hill. Now, I was invited and became a member of the Problem Solving Caucus. This is a bipartisan group, equal parts, and we get together behind closed doors in order to solve problems for the American people.
Is there an email, Congressman Watkins? They can just shoot you an email message about something of concern to them?
Yes, absolutely. They can actually go Google search me. I'll get that email address to you. I apologize. I don't know which one's best.
The Google search in that, you could probably do a Facebook message or an email.
Absolutely. There's a number of ways, but I've got offices in Topeka, Pittsburgh, Kansas, as well as D.C.
Okay, District 2. And Congressman Watkins, hope you'll come back over summer recess or in a few more months and let us know what's happening up there. And appreciate that you guys wanted to be on the Red Couch Show. That makes us feel great, and we love to have our congressional delegation here. All 4 of you are welcome.
Of course.
And we'll see you hopefully in a few more months.
Thank you so much.